Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith, and today I am talking about The Siren and the Specter by Jonathan Janz. This is from Flame Tree Press, and it is about David Kane. He is a professor and a debunker. He's written a bunch of books debunking haunted houses and things. And he's going to the Alexander House, the most haunted house in America. He's going to spend a month there. An old friend of his and that friend's wife bought the house, and essentially the wife wants proof that it's haunted so they can turn it into a tourist attraction. The husband seems to want proof that it's not haunted. So David's there, and scary stuff ensues. There's your nutshell. So, it's Jonathan. All right. I wish I edited these things because I would have cut that part out. But hey, you get this warts and all. It's Jonathan Janz, so you know it's well written right off the bat. It's a fantastically written book. So we're introduced to David Kane. Throughout the book, we're going to get to know more about him. We're going to learn, although it's on the back of the book, that a woman that he loved and whose heart he broke committed suicide, and that's going to play into things. There was this sort of power trio of him, his friend Chris, and Anna. Really hope I got her name right. They were the best of friends in college, and David and Anna were a couple. But then he broke up with her. She committed suicide. Now Chris is married to this woman, Catherine, I believe. They've bought the Alexander House. David has come up there. It's slightly isolated, not completely at all. Does that make any sense? Like, his one neighbor is 200 yards away. He's got another neighbor that he's got to kind of go through some woods and stuff. But the town is a good distance away. There's a lake. There's an island. All sorts of interest. It's an interesting location. He's come up there. One of his sort of debunking heroes from 100, 200 years ago, from a long time ago, disappeared at this house. He was there to debunk things, and he disappeared. And then this sort of Ed and Lorraine Warren kind of guy wrote a book about that guy that disappeared. David Kane hates that author, feels that he did a trash job on his hero. But he's got that book with him. We're going to get little excerpts from David's hero's journal that are in the book written by the guy he doesn't like. Follow that along. So we're getting some journal excerpts from this guy from 100 or so years ago when he was at the house. We're going to meet the neighbor Ralph, who's this old crotchety guy. We meet the other neighbors. There's these two young kids. The girl is 4, I think. Her brother's a little older. They're malnourished. There's no evidence that they're physically abused by their parents. Their parents are crazy. Drunks, sexual shenanigans. I'm not even going to get into the horrible things that their parents do. So David gets involved with them, and he's going to meet some other people in town, blah, blah, blah. But of course, the main focus is the house and whether or not it's haunted. And I'm not going to tell you. You got to read the book. I will tell you that this book is incredibly creepy. Jonathan Janz is very good at writing haunted house stories. And he just does a great job of building the atmosphere, building the tension, building the creeps. But then there's also some very action-packed, for lack of a better way to put it, action-packed scenes. There is blood and gore. But there's so much creepiness. Fantastic. I gave this book... Before I get to that, let me see. Is there anything else plot-wise? that I want to get into. I will say that the town sheriff is my favorite character, Sheriff Harkless. A black woman, little heavy set, not super tall, but a fantastic character. I really like her. I like her attitude. I like some of the things she does. I'm not going to get into the specifics because you really should read this. Great, great character. Other characters, pretty good. Even the characters that we're supposed to hate, those shitty ass neighbors with the poor kids, we hate them, but they're well written because it's Jonathan Janz. The man knows how to write. So that covers enough of it, I suppose. At this point, you know I'm going to ramble. I gave this book 5 out of 5 on Goodreads, but it was very tough. If we could do fractions on Goodreads, it would be between 4.5 and 5. Mainly, I have 2 main problems, and I think they're both me problems. I think one, I found the main character, David Kane, very unlikable. I think he's meant to be that way, but I'm not sure he's meant to be as unlikable as I found him. Could be wrong about that. Haven't talked to the author about it. I don't know what his intentions were. But David Kane has a superior attitude, but also feels insecure, and which, I mean, that kind of, both of those things are pointed out by characters, so they're intentional traits for the character. But there was just something about him. Maybe it's just me when I was reading it. I really found him horribly unlikable, up to a point where I did not care what happened to him. There are some saving graces, but and I don't think he was. Could be wrong. I don't think he was meant to be as unlikable as I found him. So that was a bit of a problem. There are things that happen in the book that, like I said, there's some saving grace moments, which is why if my opinion had not changed as I was reading the book, 4 stars would have been where I went. But I bumped it up to 5 because, again, amazing writing, scary as hell, great character development. You know, even the horrible characters are well written. I just couldn't find myself backing the protagonist. And then the other thing, and again, this might just be me, it really felt there's something that happens at the end, I'd say within the last 10 pages, that to me felt tacked on. There are things that are hinted at, but they felt like, don't know how much I would say because I don't want to give anything away. All right, I'm not going to go there. I will just reiterate, this thing that happens at the end, to me, felt like it was just tacked on there. And I don't know, again, if that's the case, if Jonathan Janz felt there had to be a payoff to certain things that, personally, I don't think needed a payoff. It's obviously not a book killer. I am giving this 5 out of 5, but it just, to me, it was like, oh, this is here at the end. All right. So yeah, frankly, without those 2 things, I might have given this 6 out of 5 because it's really that well written. It's really a great story. It's really, like I said, it's spooky. And it's got some great violence. Some really horrible things happen here. But I just had a problem with a couple of things. And again, that might be me problems, not book problems. So I think that covers everything that I wanted to go over. That's The Siren and the Specter by Jonathan Janz. Typical Flame Tree Press cover. I don't know if they it conveys a spookiness, but it's very subtle. It's not going to scare away your average reader. I like more garish covers. But, some of the covers on some of the books I have might freak out your average reader. And this is, I don't know if Flame Tree plays it safe, if that's what they're doing. But anyway, it's a cover. I'm not here to review it. I don't know why I'm talking about it. There you go. The Siren and the Specter, Jonathan Janz. Fantastic author. Flame Tree Press. Really dig most of the stuff I've read by them. I don't think any of it's been too disappointing. So check out Flame Tree Press. Check out Jonathan Janz. Check out the Siren and the Specter. There's going to be links for it down below. And that's it. So if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. And if you want to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comics, board games, and fuzzy animals, is ErikSmith5757. That's Erik with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. That's all I've got. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Erik Smith, and until next time, read more books.